So we're going to continue from where we left off from the previous video. We'd already started our drawing. We selected AutoCAD ISO.DWT and we came to this section. So from here, we are going to continue, go through the tools one by one and do a quick tour. Right, so at the top left corner is application menu icon. Close to it is a quick access toolbar, and you can customize your quick access toolbar based on your own preferences and style by clicking on the disk flyout symbol here. Once you click on that, you'll see how to customize your quick access toolbar. So whatever you see checked there are the ones that are appearing on the quick access toolbar. The new, the open, save, save as, open from web, and save to web, mobile, plot, undo, and redo. So just in case you want to customize it to suit your own style and preference, this is where you click to do that. Currently, I'm going to leave it like that. This is what we call the title bar of our AutoCAD. Currently, the title is AutoCAD Mechanical 2022 Drawing 1.dwg. And this is the search engine in AutoCAD where you can search for things that you or phrases or maybe commands that you want to learn more about them. Currently, we are not also signed into Autodesk account. So if you want to create an Autodesk account, you can do create an Autodesk account by going to the website. So these are the home. This is the home tab. These are the tablets or the tabs. This is the ribbons, and they contain tools which you will use to draw, and we will learn more about that. This black area here is the drawing area. All right, and then at the top right corner here is the view cube. So the view cube has the northeast, south, and west. We'll learn more about that. Then this is the navigation bar, which is used to navigate through our drawings. Let's come to the bottom left corner. So this is the UCS icon. Currently, it's giving us to access the X and Y axis. We have the model down here, which is representing this black area. We have the layout. If I click on that, realize that we move from the black grid, we come to this side. This means that you are ready to now plot your drawings. You are now ready to print it out, save it as a PDF, and do other things with it. So let's go back to the model. Then shifting to the right, we have the bottom right here, we have the status bar. So the status bar also contains important tools that you will use in AutoCAD. So all the tools you see here are actually also customized by an important tool called the customization. So you click on the customization, then you see all the tools that are actually can be placed on the status bar. So currently we have the coordinate checked, we have the model space checked, we have the grid, snap mode, infer, constraint, dynamic input, auto mode, polar tracking. All of them are checked. So make sure you check all of them so that you can follow the video and practice as we go deep into them. So currently these are the ones that are checked and these are the ones that are currently showing on the status bar. Now I want us to do something here. Try to click on the dynamic input whilst focusing on the status bar and see what happens. So if I click on the dynamic input and I uncheck it, you realize that the dynamic input on the status bar disappears. If I click it again, it appears. If I click, it disappears. So basically this is where you regulate the commands that are on the status bar. So I want it back again, I click on it, then I click on the three bar horizontal bar, then I'm out of the status bar. So basically these are the things you need to know for now. This is just a quick tour of AutoCAD Mechanical. Now let's start drawing something. So the first thing you do once you have launched your software is to check for your unit. So I type unit and I select unit. So this is unit. But before that, I'll press escape on my keyboard. I want to show you an important tool in AutoCAD Mechanical, which is the command line. The command line is one of the important tools in AutoCAD Mechanical in a sense that it helps you to interact with AutoCAD, and it basically helps you to navigate your way through AutoCAD as a beginner. So as a beginner, I would recommend that you always focus on the command tab because it tells you what to do next once you initiate a particular tool or command. So there are two options to either initiate a particular command in AutoCAD. It is either you type the command name if you have a name of it, or you can search for it in the tab and then you can quickly access it. Or probably if you know a shortcut, you can just use a shortcut to access that particular command. So once we are beginners and we are learning the software for the first time, we would want to be going through the tabs to know where they are located so that we can use them. As we gain mastery and we gain skill with this software, we can be using the shortcut and we can also use our own unique way of utilizing the commands or the tools in AutoCAD Mechanical. So for now, I want to check my unit. So what I do is that I hover my cursor on the screen, or I click in the type command and then I enter unit on from the keyboard. So I select unit and the top a pop-up comes, and basically this is the drawing unit. Now if you notice, the insertion scale, which is the unit to scale inserted content, is currently in millimeters. The reason why it's in millimeters is because we selected AutoCAD ISO.DWT, telling the software that whatever we are going to do is going to be in a metric system that is millimeters. So for example, if you choose AutoCAD, for example, .dwt, and you come to the unit, you would realize that your unit, it would either be in inches or something different. So currently, because we chose AutoCAD ISO.dwt, that is the reason why our unit is in millimeters. If you look at the length, the type, we are currently working in decimal. We have engineering, fractional, scientific. I want to leave it in decimal. Our precision scale is 0.00. I want to change it and put it on 0 based on your own preference. Okay. Then let's come to this side, the angle side. So I'm going to use the decimal degrees for our angles, and our precision is also in 0. And currently our angle is going to be measured in the anti-clockwise direction. So if I click on the clockwise, that means that it's going to measure my angle from the clockwise direction. I want to uncheck that. Let's click on direction and let's see something. So this is the direction control dialog box. So currently our base angle is going to be measured from the east. So our east will always be represented by 0 degrees. If you want to start your degree measurement from the west, then you select the west. So currently I'll leave it like that. I'll click on OK, and I also click on OK here. The next thing we are going to do is to set our drawing limit. So to do that, like I said, you'd have to interact with AutoCAD, or you by typing the command or going to search for it in the tabs and then you use it. So I'm going to type the command limit, LIMITS, and I press enter. So once I press enter, you would realize that the limit tells me something. It says what? Specify lower left corner. For those of you who have your cursor with a certain insertion scale, it is a sign that there is something in the status bar that is helping you actually see that insertion scale. So for me, I don't have that. So I want to press escape on my keyboard and I want to come to the status bar and I want to make sure that my dynamic input is on, so that it will help me input one or two things which you would understand later as we move along in this video. So I want to type limits again, LIMITS, and I press enter. You realize that this time around the cursor comes along with a certain gray box and some two boxes for input. This is because I went to the status bar and I activated my dynamic input. So anytime you don't have that gray box following the plus cursor, it's a sign that your dynamic input command is off. So the command tells me to specify the lower left corner. So I want to specify my lower left corner, and that I'm going to enter 0, 0. And I press enter on the keyboard. Then the command tells me to specify the upper right corner. So I'm going to enter 42 0, comma 297. And press enter. Now what I've just done is to set the limit for this drawing area. Just as when you want to start your drawing, you would have to insert your drawing paper into your drawing board, then you start drawing. And the paper that you normally insert is the ISO A3 paper. So on this drawing area, I have inserted or imaginary inserted a drawing paper of size A3, and that is the reason why we enter 0, and 420,297 to tell the software that this is the limit of my drawing and I'll be working within this space. So now that you have done your limit, let's create a title border. So to create a title border, we go to the annotate tab, and in the annotate tab, you will see the power dimensions, you see multiple dimensions. You will learn all of them. You'll see the multi-line text. So pass through all of them and come to the sheet palette. Then you select title border. So currently, this is the dialog box when I select title border. So again, you realize that because my template is in ISO, everything that it begins to give me is in the metric system, which is in millimeters. If you selected AutoCAD, then the paper format will also be different in this section. So currently we have the A3 into bracket 297 by 420. If I click on the drop down arrow, I see different paper sizes here, but I don't want them. Okay, then we also have the title block. So we have the ISO title block A and title block B. I don't want to select block B. Now the block A has a different entry requirement. The block B also have a different entry requirement. So you can play around it and see the difference. But for now, I want to select block B, and my scale is 1:1. I'd want to click on OK. So once I click on OK, the next thing I do is that I want to specify the insertion point for this particular title border. So I would want to hook it to the origin by typing 0, 0. Press enter on the keyboard. Then the change title block entry dialog box appears. So what I'm going to do now is I want to change the file name. So currently it's on drawing 1. So you can change it to drawing border, or you can type title block, and then the scale is 1:1 drawn by. I would want to enter my name. So you can also do that by entering your name. Then drawing title, I will type tutorial. I want to type tutorial, and the drawing number I would want to give it 001, just a default number. Approved by, I would write whoever will approve it. So let me give a random name, Mr. Answer. Then the sheet number, you can give it a random number, maybe 001 also as well. And I click on OK. So once I click on OK, because I changed the file name, initially it was drawing 1 DWG, is prompting me where I want to save this. So I want to save this on my desktop, just a cool area so that I can always access it anytime I need it. I click on save. Okay, so what I do is that I look for a folder, then I save it inside. So I want to save it in new folder, save. So once I do that, you would realize that I have my title block or my title border in place. So this is the title border you have here. Let's pan it and see. Now before you can pan, if you are using your mouse, all you need to do is to press the scroll button and you're able to pan. If not, you can right click and then select pan. The hand will appear, then you click and you hold, then you can pull or push the paper upward. Okay, If not, you can also use a different approach by coming to the navigation bar, then you select pan from this section. There's a way you can also zoom into your drawing. So if you are using a mouse, you can scroll the wheel towards the screen. And once you do that, you zoom. If you scroll the wheel towards yourself, you zoom out. So just play around with the tool and be conversant with them. So currently, if I zoom in, these are the things I see. See the entries of my title block are clearly given here. Because I'm using ISO block B, this is the orientation for ISO block B. So just in case I want to change or edit, all I need to do is to select and then click on the boxes, the blue boxes that you see there. You can click on any of them, and once you do that, you'll be able to enter into the edit and change the entry requirements that you want. So this is how I do, and once I do that, I can change the requirement in the block. So we'll end here and we'll continue in the next video. Thank you.